Hey guys, Michael here from youtube.com/therevived1. It's Sunday, June 20th, the day after the iPhone 3GS launched, and I'm continuing my coverage. Right now, I want to give you a hardware tour of the iPhone 3GS. Now, I just want you to keep in mind that almost everything is the same as it was on the 3G. There are a few updates that I'll mention, and also keep in mind that these bubbles that you're going to see, I have not destroyed my phone. I have installed the invisible shield, and you'll see my video on protection and what I recommend already, probably. So just keep that in mind, and the bubbles should go away after a few days. So on the front, it's the same 3.5-inch widescreen screen. However, they've adjusted it a little bit so colors are warmer. So in my 3G versus 3GS video, a lot of people mentioned how the 3GS looked a little bit more yellow. That's because it's a warmer screen. Some people don't like it, but I think there is a limit when they can stop making it warmer. But the 3G was warmer than the original iPhone, and the 3GS is warmer than the original 3G. So that's just something to keep in mind. But also with the screen, they've added that anti-fingerprint coating onto it, which is good because if you wanted to not have a screen shield on, fingerprints would be less of an issue. Even though I would say that, of course, fingerprints are going to be a problem because you're touching the screen, but if I'm not using it, when I didn't use a screen shield on my original 3G, fingerprints weren't that bad. But anyway, so here is where you can hear when you put the phone up to your head, and there's proximity sensors along the top, so it senses when it's close to your head, so the screen goes off so you don't accidentally touch anything. And there's your home button. On the bottom, right over here on the left side, if it'll focus. Alright. Well, on the left side, that's where your loudspeaker is. Here in the middle is your 30-pin connector, and on the right is actually not another speaker, it's actually a microphone. So if you get this for the first time and you're wondering, oh, this is broken, it's not playing my music over both speakers. No, this is actually a microphone over here, which makes sense because that's where you're going to be speaking, but I would have liked to have dual speakers. On this side of the device, again, you just have your volume rocker right here. Then right over here, you just have your vibrate button, or key, so it just slides back to put it in vibrate mode. Along the top of the device, you have your power button, your power sleep button up here. You have your SIM tray and a little hole so you can use the SIM removal tool to take it out. Then you have your 3.5mm headphone jack that you can use headphones with. And a lot of companies have come out with headphones that also have like the Apple headphones that you get with the iPhone, and they have controls to answer the phone call. They have a mic on them. Like you can adjust like volume, which is pretty cool. So there's a lot of third-party ones out there that are pretty cool. And along the back, you have your new 3-megapixel camera instead of the old, 2 or 1.3 megapixel eyesight. You have your Apple logo, and the back can come in black or white, and that's glossy. And I feel a little bit angry because they didn't throw in a matte back rather. Even though glossy looks better right out of the box, I'd rather never have to worry about scratches or worry about cases or anything like that. And I feel like there's some colluding between Apple and these case companies. Whether or not it benefits Apple, probably not, but it benefits these case companies because if you think about it, you know, how a lot of these companies would go out of business if people didn't need cases for the iPhone. I know if this was impenetrable, it had a matte back, or like with the original iPhone, if I had an original iPhone, I would never use any sort of protection because the back was made out of aluminum, so I'm not just going to get scratches from putting it in and out of my pocket. And that's really all the damage that it gets from me. So I would have liked a matte back, but obviously the case companies wouldn't like that. But again, you have your Chrome Apple logo, and down here it's actually changed too. These words, iPhone, 32GB, all that's been changed. So it's in this chrome finish, which is kind of cool. It makes it look a little bit more professional and a little bit more executive on the back. And that's one of the reasons why I chose the black over the white. I just feel that black is a little bit more executive and professional than the white color. But there's nothing wrong with white. White has its benefits also. Well, scratching, I guess, a little bit less than the glossy black, or showing scratches less. So there's just my overview of the hardware of the new iPhone 3GS. Of course, on the inside you have a faster processor, double the RAM up to 256 megabytes. What's interesting about the processor is, after they've taken it apart and looked at it, even though the processor that Apple allows you to use, it allows you to use 600 megahertz, it actually can go up to 866 or 36, and is also capable of 720p HD video playback and capture. So you couldn't really capture because the camera doesn't support that. It doesn't have enough resolution in the sensor. But you could play back 720p content on here. The processor can support it. And I wish they did I assume that's for the battery. They've increased the battery to like 1200 milliamps. But for better battery life, they've probably capped it at 600 megahertz, the processor. But if they did something where they allowed you to, or they put a bigger battery in so you could have faster speeds, or, you know, if it did some sort of like stepping thing, so if you're doing something really processor intensive like compressing a video to send to YouTube, it would kick in the full power of the thing, do it quicker, and then drop back down. That would be an interesting thing. That's how the Core i7 CPUs work, but not this iPhone 3G. But I'm pretty sure that they maybe could send like a software update down that would unlock all that power in the future, but Apple probably will never do that. So again, I'm Michael Sherlock from youtube.com/TheRevivedOne. This is just a hardware tour of the new iPhone 3GS.